Algebra 2, 6-7, solving radical equation and inequalities. It should be equations and inequalities. So for this lesson, we're just going to do a bunch of examples. And that's how we're going to hopefully learn this. We're just going to do a bunch of examples. So square root of x plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. So we're just solving this equation. So I'm just going to subtract 4 from each side. I got the square root of x plus 2 equals 7 minus 4, which is 3. And now I square both sides. What I do to one side, I do to the other, and that involves squaring. And so I get the square root of x plus 2 equals, oops, not the square root. Gosh, I just did the square root of, I squared it. So now I don't have a square root sign anymore. So now I just have x plus 2 equals 3 squared, which is 9. Subtract 2 from each side, x equals 7. All right, now we need to plug this back in here to make sure that it works. So 7 plus 2 is 9, square root of 9 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7. All right, that checks out. Let's do another one. Let's see, we got the square root of x minus 12 equals 2 minus the square root of x. All right, now if you see one like this, you're in for a little work. So, but that's okay, we can do it. So the issue here is I've got to square both sides, and for this side I have one thing with a radical and one term without one. So I'm going to deal with this. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we can do it. So what I need to do is I need to square both sides. And so the square root of x minus 12 is x minus 12. And then I've got to take care of this side. So this is 2 minus the square root of x times 2 minus the square root of x. I can't just distribute the power. I have to FOIL this. So 2 times 2 is 4. Negative x, square root of x times the negative square root of x is positive. Oh, I should put that on this side. Well, I'll just put it here. It's fine. Positive x. Negative times negative is positive. Square root of x times square root of x is x. Now I'm missing 2 times negative square root of x, so that's minus 2 square root of x. And then this 2 times square root of x, another 2 minus 2 square root of x. All right, I'm going to just combine these terms and just clean this up a little bit. X minus 12 equals 4 plus x minus 4 times the square root of x. All right, now I'm going to keep solving here. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and those just go away. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, so those 4's go away, and here I have negative 16 equals negative 4 square root of x, divide by negative 4, and I get 4 equals the square root of x. Whew. All right, we're almost done. Now we are at this stage that we were at over here where I just square both sides, and so I get 16 equals x, and that's my answer. Now remember last time we checked our work, and we need to check our work again here, or we need to check our answer. We need to see if it's okay. So 16 minus 12 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2, so we got 2 on that side. Now the square root of 16 is 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So we've got negative 2 equals negative 2. No, negative, a positive 2. Oh gosh. Positive 2 does not equal negative 2. And so this is not accurate here. This is an extraneous solution. And hopefully you won't see too many of these, but it can happen. This is why we go back and check to see if it works. All right, let's have you try it. Now, this is not going to be an extraneous solution, but I still want you to check your work anyways. 5 equals the square root of x minus 2 minus 1. Notice the minus 1 is not in here. All right, so you're going to do this one on your own. I'm going to make a suggestion for you. Notice here on this first example, we got this 4 out of here before we squared both sides. So I'd recommend you do that same kind of thing over here. All right, go ahead and pause and get to work. All right, let's see how you did. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And I get 6 equals the square root of x minus 2. I'm going to square both sides. I get 36 equals x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. 38 equals x. I'm going to plug 38 back in here just to make sure. 38 minus 2 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. All right, looks great. Now, let's do some more. Solve cube root equations. Let's do this example. 2 times 6x minus 3 to the power of 1/3 minus 4 equals 0. So remember, the power of 1/3, that means cubed root, right? So let's first, let's get this 4 out of here first. I've got 2 times 6x minus 3 to the 1/3 equals 4. Okay, I want this to be all by itself. I want this cubed root section to be all alone. So I'm going to divide this 2 out of here as well. Get that 2 out of there. And then I'm going to rewrite this, now that the 2's gone, I'm going to rewrite this so that maybe it makes a little more sense. Oh no, or I'll leave it. Let's just leave it. Why not? 6x minus 3 to the power of 1/3 equals 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So we could rewrite this as the cubed root of 6x minus 3 equals 2. Like if we wanted to do that, we could. But I'm going to leave it like this. Why not? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to raise each side to the power of 3. So I'm going to go like this, to the power of 3, to the power of 3. So I just cube each side, just like I squared each side earlier. And so when I cube this, that gets me 3 over 3, which is 1. So I have 6x minus 3. So that's 6x minus 3 raised to the power of 1, so it's just 6x minus 3. And then 3 cubed is 8. So I'm going to add 3 to each side. I get 6x equals 11, divide by 6, divide by 6. X equals 11/6. Gross. All of that work, and we did such a good job, and everything looks so nice, and we end up with this dumb fraction. Ugh, gross. But we can check this. 11/6 times 6 is 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. The cubed root of 8 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Let's do, you try. 3n plus 2 raised to the power of 1/3 plus 1 equals 0. So this one is very much the same as the one we just did, except for there's nothing out here being multiplied by our cubed root guy. So anyway, go ahead and do this. Pause and get to work. All right, let's see how you did. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. I get 3n plus 2 raised to the power of 1/3 equals -1. Now I'm going to raise each side by the power of 3. This becomes 1, so I have 3n plus 2 equals negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 3n equals negative 3 divided by 3. N equals negative 1. There's my answer. Let's plug this back in here just to check it real quick. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3 times negative 1. Negative 3 plus 2, that's negative 1. The cube root of negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Checks out. All right, we got a few more inequalities to do. I'm going to do another one here by myself, well, along with you, and then you're going to do one on your own. So 3 times the 4th root of 2n plus 6 minus 6 equals 0. Okay, we're going to do this one. First, I'm going to add 6 to both sides. I'm going to look at this. I'm not going to get scared. There's a whole bunch of stuff that looks yucky here, right? But I can get this 6 out of here, and then I can get this 3 out of here, and everything will kind of calm down a little bit. So just take your time, do what you know you can do, one thing at a time, and everything's going to be okay. So 3 times the 4th root of 2n plus 6 equals, I added 6 to both sides, so I end up with 6 here. Now I want to divide by 3. Oop, I forgot my end of my parenthesis there. So that goes away, and I've got the 4th root of 2n plus 6 equals 2. Now, I raise each side to the power of 4, and so these guys go away. I end up with 2n plus 6 equals 2 to the 4th power. 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Did I say that right? It's 16. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I get 2n equals 10, divide by 2, n equals 5. Now let's check this out. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. The 4th root of 16 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Boom. All right. You try. 4 times 3x plus 6 to the raised to the power of 1/4 minus 12 equals 0. All right. So you go ahead and pause and do this work, and we'll see how you did. Go. All right. Let's take this 12 out of here first, and then we'll take care of the 4, and then we'll look at this. All right. Plus 12 plus 12. 4 times 3x plus 6 to the 1/4 equals 12. Divide by 4. 3x plus 6 to the 1/4 equals 3. Raise both sides to the power of 4. And so I've got 3x plus 6 equals 3 to the 4th power, so that's 9 times 9, which is 81. Subtract 6. 3x equals 75. Divide by 3. X equals 25. Put 25 back in here just to check it out. So 3 times 25 is 75. Minus 6, or plus 6 is 81. The 4th root of 81 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Yay. All right. Inequalities. So I've got, we're just doing examples. That's what we're doing today. Example, 3 plus the square root of 5x minus 10 is less than or equal to 8. Okay, first off, what we're going to do here is we're going to look at this mess inside here. And we're going to say 5x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 0. We're going to add 10 to both sides. And we're going to get 5x is greater than or equal to 10. Divide by 5. X is greater than or equal to 2. Now, why did I do this? I did this because we don't want a negative inside the radical sign. And so what we do here is we need to find what values are going to make this mess positive. So we want it to be greater than 0 or equal to 0 or greater. If it's less than 0, then we know it's going to be negative in here. So we need to check, we need to say, okay, these are the values that are going to work in here to keep this from being a negative inside the radical. So keep negative out of radical. All right, so we're going to do a number line. We're going to start it here. Here's 0. There's 2. And so we can say x is greater than 2. So we're going to just get this started. And then we'll do the rest of this and we'll see what might be over here. Okay, so we're going to finish this off over here. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. That's a funny 3. And we get the square root of 5x minus 10 is less than or equal to 8 minus 3, which is 5. Square both sides. 5x minus 10 is less than or equal to 25. Add 10 to both sides. 5x is less than or equal to 35. Divide by 5. X is less than or equal to 7. All right, so I find 7, which is right here. And x is less than or equal to 7. Solid dots because it's or equals to, so those solutions are included. 2 to 7. Now we can rewrite this as 2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 7. All right, let's do 2 u tries. So I've got the square root of 2x plus 2 plus 1 is greater than or equal to 5, and another u try that is the square root of 4x minus 4 minus 2 is less than 4. Okay, so go ahead and do these 2 u tries. These are the last examples that we're going to be doing in this section. And so go ahead and do a good job on those, and then unpause, and I will. You can check your work with mine. All right, go. Okay, let's see how you did. First, I'm going to do this section here. So 2x plus 2 needs to be greater than or equal to 0, because I don't want a negative in here. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 2x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Divide by 2. X is greater than or equal to negative 1. Okay. Now, I'm not going to start my number line yet. Okay. Now, well, I can start it. Let's start it. Why not? Here's 0. Here's negative 1. I'm not going to put, so this would be like this and going like this, but I'm going to show you there's a little special thing that's about to happen here that we're going to, that's going to change a little bit what we've done down here. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. The square root of 2x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 5 minus 1, which is 4. Square both sides. And I get 2x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 16. Subtract 2. 2x is greater than or equal to 14. Divide by 2. X is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, notice I've got x is greater than or equal to negative 1, and x is greater than or equal to positive 7. So here's positive 7. x is greater than this. So these values here, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all of these values are not included in this solution. Therefore, this doesn't matter. We can ignore this because all of the solutions for x are already greater than or equal to -1. These solutions in here don't work for the rest of the inequality, so we ignore those because they're not part of this. We're just making sure by doing this computations here, just doing these, we're just making sure that these solutions don't conflict with what might be negative here. So really, the way to know whether or not you need to do this lies right here. If this is greater than or equal to, you probably don't need this. If this is less than, like in this one, and in the next you try, you do need this. So I think that works all the time, but there might be some other examples where it doesn't. I haven't given it enough thought to find out. But if it's less than, definitely make sure you do this. If it's greater than, you might not need to. Okay. Let's do this mess here. X minus 4, 4x minus 4 needs to be greater than or equal to 0. Add 4 to both sides. 4x is greater than or equal to 4, divide by 4. X is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, we got that. Now let's add 2 to both sides. I've got the square root of 4x minus 4 is less than 6. Square both sides. 4x minus 4 is less than 36. Add 4. 4x is less than 40. Divide by 4. X is less than 10. All right, we've got these two guys going on here. Let's draw this. 0, 10, 1. Oops, I wrote 10 instead of 1. 1 is solid. X is greater than 1. And x is less than 10. 10 is not included, so I have an open circle. Now, notice here, x is less than 10. So if I didn't do this work here, I would just have an arrow going on this way forever. But I needed this to tell me I have to stop at +1 because I can't have an x value that is less than 1 because that'll make a negative inside my radical, and I can't have that. And so I need this stopping point to tell me, look, I know x is less than 10, but it can't be less than 1, or I'll have a negative here and I'll have a problem. And so that's the reason that we're doing that. For this one, I didn't need a stopper over here because the only solutions that I got are greater than 7. So I didn't need something to stop me from getting a negative underneath the radical. All right, so that is 6-7. Good luck on the homework.